The human eye is the most interactive piece of the human body since the creation of man. Our eyes are the first things to capture and draw attention to our minds. We see with our eyes, we eat with our eyes, and we think with our eyes. When something captures your eye, our focus is on that. When we see a certain color, our eyes are drawn closer to it. Advertisement captures and draws us closer to the visual world it presents, either on screen or through physical form. In our first entry of the series, we look at more post-dated advertising, starting with its father, David Ogilvy. He was a British advertiser, father of the prestige Ogilvy and Mather agency in the 1950s in New York City. And he is often referred to as the father of advertisement. You know, he began his journey of the industry of advertisement through his work with Gallup via polling and population studies. He attributed the success of his campaign to fine details within the research and consumer habits. He once said, "I do not regard advertisement as entertainment or an art form, but as a medium of information." Ogilvy intended of disposing of the stereotype of loud, cheesy advertisements that yell, "buy, buy, buy." As to the way customers receive product information if they weren't talking directly to the salesperson. The ad itself could do the selling, but it could also attract the attention and develop clients' brands all at once. One of the biggest forms of advertisement in the late 1900s was newspaper. So fun fact, in the 1930s, newspaper coupons were invented, and it was invented by Billy Ingram, the founder of White Castle. And White Castle was known for being the first fast food burger chain in 1921. But they also had competition against Krystals. So they had to think of creative ways to push them further and beyond what Krystals was doing at that time. The competition got so big that White Castle needed to stand out. So in 1983, they invented the first newspaper coupon, which basically advertises 5 hamburgers for 10 cents. And that drove the invention of advertising coupons in the newspaper through the roof, and we still get those in the mail today. Ogilvy said this as well: unless an ad contains a big idea, it will pass like a ship in the night. We as marketers can't settle for the perky and small-minded perspectives when we believe in the product and know that it can grow. Some levels of critical thinking are necessary, and that comes from experience. He emphasizes that you can't just create the big idea, you snare at it from the air as it floats around you. Once the big idea has emerged, make sure the creativity carries its weight. And I feel like in today's times, people are getting so caught up and putting it all on what you see rather than what the ad's supposed to do. It's supposed to make you buy the product. They're making you buy the ad when that's not the case that you need to do. Transitioning in the 2000s, we see more advertisement for specific brands or maybe food marketing, especially in the early years when I was growing up. In 2003, McDonald's hit a stock market crash. They unveiled its new branding, packaging, and marketing materials for their first global campaign, releasing ads about their new slogan, "I'm loving it." And now it's the most popular slogan known to man. People know "I'm loving it" and associate that with McDonald's and the Golden Arch. Do you remember the ads when we were kids that would come on television, like the McDonald's, the certain Skechers, and sort of that sort? I know Skechers released an ad depicting, Britney Spears wearing the shoe to gain interest, and fans would go and buy them, which would promote, what they had advertised, I remember the Got Milk campaign when I was a kid. They put their slogan on everything. It was impossible to miss. That campaign has been running for 20 years now, and it was the most funniest and most creative advertisement of its time. These ads features, the celebrities like Michael Myers, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Rihanna, Serena Williams, the list goes on. But as a kid, it was so innovative that it gets caught in your head every time you see milk. And that's where like my mind went, and that's where my mind still goes, is like whenever I see a milk carton, I'm like, oh, I remember that Got Milk campaign that they showed all the time on television as a kid. And as a kid, I was more personally affected by TV ads when growing up, because TV was the main source of advertisement for me. I didn't have a phone. My parents had a phone. My parents had a smartphone, but I didn't have a phone. I still had the old 1940 BlackBerry that was out. That was basically indestructible. And like technology has evolved since then, but my main source of advertisement was from the TV. And now we're in an age of digital advertisement. Small and medium-sized businesses use Facebook, Instagram, Google to drive results and ROI. But digital advertising alone can only go so far. Adding billboards to your existing marketing is an effective way to see an uplift in results and create brand awareness. It's important to create a diverse market mix to effectively advertise your brand and get recognized and build brand awarenesses. We all know Alexander Shannara. We see his face everywhere. But like, he had to be creative in doing that. And yeah, I don't think every billboard in the nation with his face on it is creative, but it works. We all know who he is. Advertisements for specific TV programs have evolved dramatically. We see more food ads, injury and law firm like Alexander Shannara, like I just mentioned. Sports ad with clothing and drinks that they promote. Nike gets with like NFL players and Gatorade and any other sports drink that there is out there. We have classic commercials like the appliances ad, the Coca-Cola ads, car ads, new movies and TV shows coming out. And that world of advertisement is constantly evolving. During the Super Bowl, they air unique ads that audiences and viewers remember because of the messages they present, whether it's funny, serious, entertaining, or informative. The way these programs present them leave an everlasting impression in our heads. And I think that's very powerful. And it's something that has evolved over time, and it's still going to be something that is going to continue to evolve. And I feel like there's so many examples that we could cover in this series. We see, movies now have ads on them, like Wreck-It Ralph, when they go to the game world, or the Wi-Fi. They go to the Wi-Fi, and you see all them ads that keep popping up, the little pop-up dude. Like, advertisement is evolving so quickly, and it's almost becoming invisible to the eye, because some things we don't consider as advertisement is actually advertisement. So that's something we have to be aware of, and something that we have been conditioned to through the things that we watch, and we may not even realize it.